Hello students, let us discuss an important concept here, that is hybridization in the chapter Chemical Bonding and Molecular Structure. The concept of hybridization was introduced by Pauling. For his work, Pauling was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1954. Pauling introduced the hybridization concept to explain the shape of polyatomic molecules like methane, ammonia, water, etc. According to him, the atomic orbitals combine to form new set of equivalent orbitals known as hybrid orbitals. As you are already familiar with the word orbitals. So, in the atom, the orbitals are actually undergoing a combination, or we can call intermixing is taking place, which result in the formation of a new set of orbitals, which is called as hybrid orbitals. Unlike the pure orbitals, the hybrid orbitals are used in the bond formation. This phenomena is called as hybridization. So, according to the Pauling, the atomic orbitals which is undergoing an intermixing, or we can say combination, is taking place. Because of this combination, it results in the formation of a new set of orbitals that is called as hybrid orbitals. And the bond formation is actually due to the hybrid orbitals. So this concept was named as hybridization. We'll be getting the more details of this one when we do a particular example. So hybridization can be defined as the process of intermixing of the orbitals of slightly different energies resulting in the formation of new set of orbitals of equivalent energies and shapes. This is called as hybridization. Let us discuss the silent features of hybridization. The main features of hybridization are under as follow. Number 1, the number of hybrid orbital is equal to the number of atomic orbitals that get hybridized. Better we take an example. Let there is one s orbit and p orbital in an atom. So here the intermixing of s and p orbitals takes place. So it results in the formation of a new set of orbital that is actually hybrid orbitals. So here one s and here one p orbital is intermixing. So here we can say that total 2 number of orbitals are missing. That is this one and this is second. So 2 orbitals are undergoing intermixing. So it results in the formation of hybrid orbital, which is represented here. So this orbital is a hybrid orbital. This orbital is a hybrid orbital. So according to this postulate, what it says that how many number of atomic orbitals are combining, that much number of hybrid orbital is obtained. That is here 1 plus 1, 2 orbitals, that is atomic orbitals, are combining. So that is actually equal to 2. So when you look at the picture here, how many orbitals are formed here? Hybrid orbitals. There are 2 hybrid orbitals are formed. That means how much is combining? That means 2 is combining and giving rise to 2 hybrid orbitals. So that this postulate says that number of hybrid orbital which is formed due to the intermixing of the atomic orbitals, that number should be equal to the number of atomic orbitals that get hybridized. Let us talk about the next postulate. The hybridized orbital are always equivalent in energy and the shape. So just now we have taken this example, that is s and p is combining. So hybrid orbital sp is formed. So this is a sp hybrid orbital, this is a sp hybrid orbital. So two sp hybrid orbitals are there. So when you compare the energy of this hybrid orbital, that is sp, and this is also sp. When you compare the energy and shape of this, it will be equivalent. That means the hybrid orbitals are always equivalent in energy and shape. Let us talk about third postulate. The hybrid orbitals are more effective in forming the stable bonds than the pure atomic orbitals. That means, according to the hybridization concept, the atomic orbitals are combined to form hybrid orbitals. So now these hybrid orbitals are involving in the bond formation. So the bond formed due to the hybrid orbitals are more stable than the bonds formed by the atomic orbitals. That is the point third says in this postulates. Number 4 postulate says these hybrid orbitals are directed in space in some preferred direction to have minimum repulsion between the electron pair. What it shows that the hybrid orbital, like here the sp hybrid orbital, this is sp, this is sp. So the two sp hybrid orbitals which is formed here, because of the repulsion between the electron pair, they always try to occupy a space in which they occupy maximum distance. Maximum distance means the maximum angle. So for the case of two orbitals, the maximum angle is actually 180 degree angle that we have already discussed in the case of VSEPR theory, that the two orbital or the two electron pairs try to occupy a space that is 1 degree angle so that there will be a minimum repulsion. It experiences minimum repulsion when there is a maximum distance. So that is the fourth postulate says it will occupy such a position where it occupy minimum repulsion, where they experience minimum repulsion between the electron pairs. So thus gives a stable arrangement. So what we can say that the type of hybridization indicate the geometry of the molecule. So in this example, we are talking about S, the intermixing or the hybridization of s and p orbital, that is giving rise to sp hybrid orbital. So this result in the formation of sp hybrid orbitals. So in this case they have a particle geometry. What is that geometry? That is a linear. They are in linear. So that is about the four postulates which we have discussed here. Now it will be more clear when we'll be taking the particular type of hybridization. Let us take the orbitals, that is the atomic orbital 2s, which is spherical in shape, 2pz, 2px, 2py. So here we have drawn the atomic orbitals, that is 2s, 2pz, 2px, 2py. And you are familiar with the shape of this one, that is spherical is for the s orbitals and dumbbell for the p orbitals. Now you can see all the cases in the p, they are on the particle axis. On p 2pz, it is on the z axis. For 2px, the dumbbell is on x axis, and for 2py the dumbbell is on the y axis. Now what happened? Let us discuss the type of hybridization. So as we have discussed, there is an intermixing of atomic orbitals. So if there is an intermixing of 2s and 2pz, that is intermixing of 2s and 2pz orbital, then it results in the formation of hybrid orbitals, that is called as sp hybridization. The orbitals which is formed, that is called as sp hybrid orbitals. Look at here how many orbitals, atomic orbitals are combining. Here the atomic orbital, these are representing the atomic orbital. So 1, 2, 2 atomic orbitals are combining. So how many number of sp hybrid orbitals are there? 2 are combining, therefore 2 sp hybrid orbitals are formed. That is we have discussed in the postulate. So the sp hybridization, that in which the two hybrid orbitals, that is 2 sp hybrid orbitals, are linearly arranged, because we have discussed the postulate, they try to occupy the space in which they get maximum angle. So for the case of 2, the maximum angle is 180 degree angle. So the geometry for sp hybridization is linear geometry. So the structure, we can say that it is linear geometry. So that is the case of sp hybrid orbitals. So once again, let me tell you, one s and one p is combining, so sp. S and P is combining, therefore sp. Now look at here, how many hybrid orbitals are there? This is sp hybrid orbital, this one is sp hybrid orbital. So total how many orbitals are there? Hybrid orbitals, 2 hybrid orbitals, and how much are combining? 2 are combining. So that is about the sp hybridization. Let us discuss another hybridization. In the case of sp hybridization, only one S and one P is combining. When one S and two P are undergoes intermixing, or we can say when they are combining, so it gives rise to sp2 hybridization. Look at the representation here. Why it is sp2? Because here single S and 2 p orbitals are undergoing hybridization. So S, that is single S, P 2, this 2 represent, that is 2p orbital is undergoing hybridization, that is undergoing intermixing. So tell me, how many hybrid orbitals will be formed after the combination, or we can say intermixing of these orbital? Here 1, 2, 3. 3 are mixing. So definitely how many hybrid orbitals will be formed? 3 hybrid orbitals will be formed. So which is shown here in this diagram, that is, this is one sp2 hybrid orbital, this is sp2, this one is sp2. So total 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals are formed because 3 atomic orbitals are combining, that is 1s and 2p. So in the case of number 3, the maximum angle here possible, that is 120 degree angle, that is shown here. The angle is 120 degree angle. So these sp2 hybridized orbital, which is given here, these sp2 hybrid orbitals are occupying a space, that is trigonal planar geometry, where the angle is 120 degree angle. Let us take sp3 hybridization. When 1s and 3p are combining, then it is called as sp3. Look at here, why it is represented sp3. 1s is combining, so s. 1, 2, 3. 3 p's are combining, so we are writing p3. This 3 number is nearly, it look like on the powers of p. So sp3. How many number of hybrid orbitals, that is sp3 hybrid orbitals, are formed? So let us count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are combining. So how many hybrid orbitals will be formed? Definitely the 4 hybrid orbitals are formed. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hybrid orbitals, and these hybrid orbitals are called as sp3 hybrid orbitals. So this is sp3 hybrid orbital, this is sp3, sp3, sp3. So total 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals are there. So how much is combining? 4 is combining. How much hybrid orbitals are formed? 4 hybrid orbitals are formed, which is called as sp3 hybrid orbitals. So in this case, they occupy a geometry, that is tetrahedral geometry in which the angle here it is 109.5 degree. It's a three-dimensional structure, that is tetrahedral structure. So this is about sp3 hybridization. As while discussing the VSEPR theory, we discussed about different structures like linear, trigonal, planar, tetrahedral, trigonal, bipyramidal, octahedral, pentagonal, bipyramidal geometries we have discussed. So in that case I told you, remember this number. Once you remember this number, easily you can make the structure and you can make the correct prediction of the geometry. So here also we can use this concept and learn one more thing here, that is like this. Number 2 SP. Look at here, 1 S and 1 P, that is number 2. 3 single S and 2 P, therefore number 3. So it is not difficult to remember this number with the hybridization. Here look at the number 4 single S and 3 P's, so total 4. So the number 4 is sp3, single S, 3p, 1d, that is sp3d hybridization. For number 5, similarly for number 6, sp3d2, 7 sp3d3. So once you remember this number, the structure which is given and the name of the structure and this hybridization which is given here, it is easy to make or predict the geometry for a given molecule. So we will be practicing some examples in the next video so that it will be more clear to you how to predict a geometry for the different molecules on the basis of hybridization. So let us discuss the important conditions for hybridization. The first important condition, the orbitals present in the valence shell of the atoms are hybridized. That is important here. Which orbitals are undergoing hybridization? That is the valence shell orbitals only undergoes hybridization. That means the inner core electron which is there in that orbital, no hybridization takes place. Only the valence shell orbitals are undergoing hybridization. That is the first condition which is given in the textbook. And the second condition, the orbitals undergoing hybridization should have almost equal energy. That means the orbitals which is undergoing intermixing, it should have almost equal energy. Like 2s and 5p, it cannot undergo hybridization because there is much variation in their energy. So 2s and 5p does not undergo hybridization. That means does not undergo intermixing. But 2s and 2p can undergo intermixing because they have nearly equivalent energy. So that is what this second point says. The orbitals undergoing hybridization should have almost equal energies. Then only the intermixing will take place. Third point, promotion of electron is not essential condition prior to the hybridization. That means during the hybridization, the electrons get promoted to the another orbital. So that is not actually essential. So it will be more clear when we take the particular example. So promotion of electron is not essential condition prior to the hybridization. Fourth point, it is not necessary that only half-filled orbitals participate in hybridization. That means here we are discussing about the intermixing of atomic orbitals. And which orbitals? The orbitals in the valence shell. So it is not necessary that it should be half-filled. Even the fully filled orbitals can also take part in hybridization. That is for the cases of compounds like coordinate compound. That type of example we'll be discussing in the 12th standard chapter coordination compound. So this is the point, that is a 4 point which we have discussed, which is the important condition for the hybridization. So these points will be getting more clear when we do the practical examples. So in the next video, we'll be doing the practical examples in which we'll be discussing all these points once again. So this is all about the introduction part of a hybridization, which is the quite important concept. So this is all about this video. Have a nice day.